What is going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another episode of Dragon Ball Q&A, where today we have lots of awesome questions to go through. So before we begin, guys, I do want to say that the questions added onto the video are going to be directly reflected onto you guys. So if you guys have your own opinions as to the questions asked in this video, go on ahead and drop your comments down below if your opinion's different than mine. And of course, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, for all the latest Dragon Ball news, information, and updates. And lastly, if you guys enjoyed the video, then be sure to go on ahead and leave a like down below. And if you guys have any questions to ask me for the next Dragon Ball Q&A video, drop your questions down in the comment section below. So without wasting any time, let's begin with our very first question of the day, which is from iRockJs82. Hey Alex, with all these Dragon Ball Super spoilers, I cannot contain my joy and excitement anymore. Thank you for always giving us the scoops, and thanks for always reaching out to talk to us. By the way, we spoke on Discord the other day. I was fanboying out for meeting you. I mean, we did have a good discussion, and just as we spoke on Discord, I have a few questions to ask you, and these questions are also for your viewers to answer. Question number one, do you think there will be two female Saiyans included, since Toei and Toriyama are having conflicts with design/character introductions? Why would this female Broly be from Universe 6 or 7, especially labeling her from 7? Where do you think she's from, and what are your thoughts on her? I still think she's from Universe number 11. Question number two, we all know that power levels in Dragon Ball are BS, not even Toriyama cares about scaling. However, what are your thoughts on 17 being able to hang in there with Goku, and do you see him lasting against Hit or the Troopers? Question three, I personally think the tournament will not end the way we all expect it to end, but I wanted to know, do you believe an unpredictable winner is bound to appear instead of the predictable Goku? Thank you so much. I hope you continue to grow in your journey, and for anyone watching this, share Alex's content. Love the mods, by the way. Thank you so much, Jay. You're a really kind dude, man. Well, to answer your first question, do I believe personally that there are two female Saiyans? I don't think that's the case. I think that the female that we've gotten in the translations, in the V-Jump preview, in the trailer, in the teaser, by looking at that, I'm solely convinced that she is the exact same person. I really doubt that there are going to be two female Saiyans, because if there are two female Saiyans, as you said, where did she come from Universe number 7? Like, where was she the entire time? It just wouldn't make any sense for her to be from Universe 7, because the question lingers as to where was she the entire time, you know? I think that yes, it'll make sense for her to come from Universe number 6, since Champa is demanding for Kaba to recruit more Saiyans, so having her be a part of Kaba's family, or maybe someone he knows, that'll be a pretty cool concept, in seeing Kaba and this female work together. But I really doubt that she's from Universe number 7. I really don't expect her to be, but I think that coming from Universe 6 would make the most sense, even though a lot of us were speculating as to saying that she comes from Universe number 11, and that she may be involved with the Pride Troopers, maybe she knows of the Pride Troopers. Then again, it'll make even more sense if she came from planet Sadala, in the fact that Kaba was the one that brought her in, because then, at least as Champa said, he would have more Saiyans onto his team. In terms of her overall design, I personally don't have a problem with that. I personally enjoy the way she looks. However, I'm really curious as to how strong she is. Is she on par with Gohan? Is she on par with Vegeta? Is she on par with Goku, as we saw with 17? I mean, 17 was basically on par with Super Saiyan Blue, so can this female also be on par with Goku? Regardless of power level, I'm really curious as to where she's from. So in my overall prediction, I'm gonna have to say my final answer before we find out more information would be that she comes from Universe number 6. It'll make sense, it'll have it be logical for Kaba to bring her in, and in terms of the whole mistranslation for the whole Universe 6, 7, I mean, for all we know, yeah, there could be two female Saiyans. I mean, even though that'll be very interesting as to seeing two of them, because what do you do with like the other? It's like, who would you give more screen time to over the other? I mean, even having them fight against each other would be pretty cool, but I can't see there being two. I think that there's only going to be one, that being the female Broly that we saw during the teaser, during the opening, and during the scans. Now, to answer your second question, in terms of power levels, yes, I agree, power levels are completely bullshit, but what are my thoughts on 17 being able to hang in with Goku? Well, 17 was a beast. 17, when he fought Goku, was a monster. I mean, even though androids don't really have any stamina, they can keep on fighting for a very long time. I personally enjoyed their Super Saiyan 1 clash, and having to have Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight 17, even though personally I disagree with having that battle even happen, it was enjoyable to see 17 kind of keep up with Goku, even though, yes, Goku was holding back. it just goes to show as to how strong 17 has become, because you cannot take away the amount of effort that 17 has put in to even compete with Goku on that level. So do I see 17 standing up against Hit or the Troopers? I could see 17 fighting off against Dispo, or fighting off against, you know, the bison looking dude that has the microphone over his ear, but I can't see 17 competing against Hit, I can't see 17 competing against Topo, and I can't see, you know, 17 having to compete against Jiren. Those are my thoughts on that, because if anyone out there disagrees, let me know. I just can't see 17 being able to outmaneuver Time Skip, and I can't see 17 being able to topple someone who's supposed to be a god of destruction and his friend who's supposed to be even stronger than him, i.e. Jiren. So in terms of 17 versus those three, I don't think 17 wins. I think that either one of those fighters would beat 17. However, I think that as androids, as a cohesive unit, 17 and 18 would work very well in possibly even being able to throw back the Troopers to a degree. But when it comes down to having a singular battle, 17 versus Jiren or 17 versus Hit, I definitely think that Jiren, Hit, or Topo would smash 17. That's just my opinion. For me, it was cool to see 17 hang in there with Goku, but remember, Goku was holding back a lot. So I want to know your thoughts on this, because some people agree with 17 having to keep up with Super Saiyan Blue, and other people disagree. And to answer your third question, the Tournament of Power having to have an unexpected winner. Honest to God, it's possible, and it'll be a complete shock to have, you know, some of the most epic battles occur, and once they throw themselves out there, I mean, we have one remaining winner, that being Majin Buu, that being Roshi, that being Krillin. It could be anybody for all we know. So I really doubt that we are going to get a predictable winner, because it'll be too predictable to have Goku just beat everybody, right? Even though he is going to tap into a new power and he is going to display more or less what he can do during this battle, I can still see Goku going far, but it'll be way too predictable to have Goku win it all. I mean, don't you guys agree? Even though if he does have a new power and he starts beating people left and right, how boring would it be to see someone not give Goku a run for his money? Even though I would say the only person that was able to compete with Goku at the time, even while he was at his peak at Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10, was Hit, because Hit was able to time skip Kaioken times 10. So what does that tell you about him? So maybe if Goku were to inflict enough damage on him, maybe Hit would continuously improve to even keep up with him, who knows? But I do think that it's possible for there to be an unpredictable winner, but the question is who? Is it going to be 18? Is it going to be 17? Is it going to be Krillin? Is it going to be Tien? Is it going to be Roshi? Is it going to be Piccolo? Is it going to be Gohan? Is it going to be Vegeta? Because as of now, we're all predicting, or at least for many of us, that Goku is going to be the guy to win the Tournament of Power. And if that were to happen, you have to ask yourself, it's like, would you be satisfied with that? Because again, it's the main guy of the show having to pick up the victory on the biggest battle of them all. So I would like to see someone else possibly win. I would love to see Goku have the shine, but as of right now, I'm gonna have to stick with my ideology and say that the winner of this tournament, in my opinion, either might come down to Goku or Vegeta for Universe 7. Now, I mean, in terms of other teams, it's possible that Universe 6 may win, it's possible that Universe 11 may win, but overall, for Team Universe 7, I'm gonna have to go with either Goku or Vegeta. So anyways, Mr. J, thank you so much for the questions, bro, and I'll see you on Discord, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Draco Malfoy. Wow, we have Harry Potter cast members in here. Hey Alex, love these Q&As and your discussion videos, looking forward to the next one, thank you. However, I have a couple of questions that I would hope to get your answer and voice your opinion on them. And again, guys, like I said before, these questions also apply to you guys, so I want you guys to go on ahead and answer these questions down in the comment section below. Question number 1, do you think that this arc will purely be based around the tournament, or do you think it'll be interrupted, possibly leading us into a much like Buu Saga when the Supreme Kai appeared at the World Martial Arts Tournament? If so, what do you think will cause the tournament to be stopped? Question 2, I know that killing isn't allowed in the tournament, but since none of our Z fighters have died in the series so far, do you think someone will die in this arc? If so, who do you think it'll be? Question 3, how do you think Beerus will react if Universe 6 loses and is erased alongside his brother Champa? Hope these questions make it onto your next week's Q&A video. Keep doing what you're doing for the Dragon Ball community, loving it and having an amazing day. Well, thank you so much for the kind words and thank you so much for the warm comments. And again, guys, you guys can go ahead and answer these questions down below. To answer your first question, I mean, you have to look at it like this, right? Who would be dumb enough to interrupt a tournament, right, that consists of 12 gods, 12 angels, 2 Omni Kings, 2 guards, the Daishinkan, 12 Kaioshins, and 80 fighters? it's like, who would be dumb enough to intervene in such a battle and, you know, trying to cause some sort of disturbance in interrupting this, you know? Even if that was the case, you're gonna have to introduce an ancient villain that maybe the Daishinkan know about, maybe the gods know about, maybe Zeno knows about, and somehow in some way, shape, or form, because of having this tournament be hosted in the world of Void, this gave him some sort of opportunity to reconstruct and rebuild himself and reintroducing himself to the gods or to the Omni King or whatever. But within the actual Tournament of Power, I really can't see anybody having the balls to stand up and interrupt this battle, because you have to ask yourself, it's like, what would be the purpose? What would be the purpose of having someone interrupt the tournament? Because without there having to be a clear-cut motive, it just wouldn't make any sense. Even though I agree, it'll be more or less similar to what happened during the World Martial Arts Tournament when the Supreme Kai first showed up, which was great because we all thought at a certain point that we were going to see an all-out tournament involving Goten and Trunks and Vegeta and Gohan and Goku and Piccolo and Krillin and Tien. But overall, it turned out that once Shin introduced himself and we saw Gohan have his energy drained, that led into another story which built up, you know, so much, you know, drama and, you know, emotion and whatnot. So it was a great story to have. But in terms of having this tournament be interrupted, at this very point, I can't see anyone interrupting the tournament, because you have to ask yourself, it's like, who would it be? Where would they even come from? And what would be their motive? Because at least for that story with the Buu Saga, we had a motive. We had Spopovich and Yamu trying to, you know, build up energy and gain energy to revive Majin Buu, so we knew about that. But here, it's like nobody really has a motive yet. So in terms of an interruption, I can't see that happening. Now, to answer your second question, someone dying, you know, for a lot of us want to see Krillin die. A lot of us want to see, you know, some other character be killed off. But you know what? Since killing isn't allowed, I can't see anyone dying, at least not during this battle, because you have to think of it like this. If someone does die, the person that killed them is going to be disqualified, or if anything, their entire team is going to be disqualified. So even if by some chance, I think if someone does end up dying, it should be Krillin, I can't see any of our main heroes being killed off or picked off to die. Not unless, of course, they all target Goku and we have like some sort of shocking revelation to where Goku dies, in which it's not going to happen, but that'll be a shock. But in terms of someone dying here, I can't see it happening just because the rules are very, very strict. But if I had to say if someone had to die, I would choose Krillin, because he's been dead before, he's been killed off before, so why not try it again, at least to a degree. Now, to answer your third question, in terms of Beerus reacting to Universe 6 having to lose and be erased, well, you have to look at it from a standpoint to where Beerus has a lot of pride, and similar to his brother, I don't think he would care too much, even though to a degree, I think that yes, Beerus would care that his only brother was, you know, killed off and erased and Universe 6 was destroyed. I think what matters most to him as of right now, and similar to every other god, is the fact that so as long as they're good, as they're alive, as they're intact with their position in the universe, they're okay. Even though it's gonna be sad to see his brother die, if that's the case, and if Champa does, you know, end up being erased, if that were to happen, I could see Beerus kind of regretting the idea of this even coming about, but I don't see him crying, I don't see him sobbing, I don't see Beerus expressing too much emotion, because I think that as a deity, he has a position to fill, and I think that he would be happy that he is alive. But in terms of his brother being gone, I can see him being sad, but I can also see the ego coming out and saying, well, you know, that's what you get for having weak fighters on your team or something like that. But I mean, overall, these gods just seem very cocky in nature, so I'm gonna have to say that, you know, Beerus would care, but he wouldn't just cry or, you know, throw a fit about it. So, but anyways, Mr. Draco, thank you so much for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Mini Bean. I have one question for you, but a little explanation before you answer. So I believe Gohan deserves a new form. He is turning back into the old Gohan that we all love, but take into consideration that Goku has been hinting to us that Gohan may be key to winning this tournament. Look, in the Goku Black arc, Trunks was outclassed for most of the arc, only being Super Saiyan 2 until he had Super Saiyan Rage. Although, yes, you are correct in the anime, in the manga, Trunks never achieved Super Saiyan Rage, so which version are you going off of here? And then he was just as strong as said Yajirobe. So notice the power gap that he closed by the first transformation. Because Trunks is a half-breed just like Gohan, they have the most potential of all the fighters because of their human sides, or more connected with their emotions than Saiyans. I believe Gohan is capable of closing the power gap between him and his father easily. he is fighting for Pan, Videl, and the thought of failing them is something that I think is going to make him break his limits. Remember what happens when you push Gohan into a corner, you better run. But my opinion is that I think Gohan is going to win the tournament for Universe 7, and that will be a nail biter. So the question is, what are your overall thoughts of this, and might Gohan have more importance in this tournament than most people might think? Well, I'm not going to deny Gohan's importance, and yes, you are correct. Gohan and Trunks, since they're half-breeds, have more potential to become stronger than purebloods. That was already stated a very long time ago. However, in this tournament, Gohan is going to be dealing with fighters that are potentially even stronger than his father, and you can make the argument and say that Gohan is not anywhere near his father's level. However, you are right when it comes down to him fighting for Pan and Videl, and the thought process of Gohan having to fail them, I think that it'll indeed work in his favor. But in terms of Gohan having to win the tournament, it is possible. It is possible for Gohan to tap back into his inner power. For everything to be boiling down to him, that'll put a lot of pressure on him, and I do think that to a degree, it'll allow him to fight for more than just his own family, but for his life, for his father's life, for the entire universe. So yes, I agree with you. I think that Gohan is going to have more importance into this tournament than we all believe. However, when putting Gohan up against, people like the Pride Troopers, or even against Universe 6, it's gonna boil down to tactics. It is gonna boil down to power, because even to a degree, if Gohan is significantly stronger than most people in this tournament, he's still gonna have to deal with fighters that are very cunning in the ring, such as Universe 6, because he was never there to watch the Universe 6 fighters fight Universe 7. So I do agree. I think that it is possible for Gohan to break past his own limits once he thinks about the thought process of Pan and Videl having to be killed, for the namesake of this tournament, just by being a pawn. I can see Gohan breaking past that. Very similar to when 16 got crushed right in front of Gohan's face. Gohan tapped into his inner power and he unleashed the rage that was within him, and I think that is possible for him to achieve. However, the question is, how will it be done? Can Gohan tap into the same powers that Trunks did in the anime? Because in the manga it never happened, but similar to the anime, can Gohan do the same thing? I think that once Gohan is really backed into a corner, it is possible for him to achieve. But in terms of him having to play a very important role, I agree. I think that Gohan is going to go very, very, very far. But if Goku, if Vegeta, if, all else fails and it's down to him, that's going to be a lot of pressure be put on him, because he is not as strong as a Super Saiyan Blue. He doesn't have the powers of Super Saiyan Blue, but I think with that being said, that gives him the advantage, because having to be underpowered against fighters who are overpowered like Hits, like Jiren, it's going to make for a very interesting show of events, because then the question is, can Gohan get the job done? Despite him having to be MIA during the Goku Black story, during the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 story, during the Golden Frieza story, during the Battle of God story, can Gohan be relevant again? And I think it's possible, but the question is, how will it be done? And if he does tap into a new power, what will it be? So anyways, Mr. Minibean, thank you so much for the questions, bro, and I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Freddy Jizbear Long Johnny. That is just a weird name. Unreal, these are the Q&A questions. Question 1, can Gohan be able to win the Tournament of Power? Question number 2, do you think Gohan can learn how to use Super Saiyan Rage in the tournament? Question 3, do you think that Zamasu possessed the Omni King before Goku and Vegeta came back to pick him up? Well, I do respect everyone's questions. To answer your first question, just as I just said, it is possible for Gohan to emerge the winner of this tournament. I'm pretty sure everyone would be happy in seeing Gohan finally be relevant again. But the question is, as I just asked, how will it be done? How will he be able to achieve such a feat in eliminating fighters that, bear different techniques, different abilities of poison and teamwork and all sorts of stuff? How is Gohan going to be able, with his current ultimate powers, to best all of that, It is possible for Gohan to win, but how? How do you see Gohan outlasting Vegeta? How do you see Gohan outlasting Goku? Again, it's not impossible, but the question is how? Now, to answer your second question, Super Saiyan Rage. Super Saiyan Rage, I don't think is achievable for everybody. that should be something that only Trunks has because it fits Trunks as a character, and I think that during the time being, when Trunks utilized the form, it made sense, because when all else was lost for him, he tapped deep within himself, even after kinda having training with his father, he tapped into something greater than he can possibly ever tap into. And even though it never happened in the manga, in the anime we saw that. So for Gohan to achieve it, I think it's possible, but I don't think it should happen. I think that Gohan should remain the way he is in his ultimate form, in his mystic form, keep him the way he is, but just have his power be off the charts this time, you know? Have him possibly even be stronger than Buhan was when he fought Boo-Tanks back in Dragon Ball Z. But in terms of him having to learn Super Saiyan Rage, I don't think it's impossible, but I don't think it should happen. Then to answer your final question, do I think Zamasu possessed the Omni King before Goku picked him up? No. Zamasu is dead. Zamasu's gonna stay dead. And for anyone out there who wants to, talk about the idea of Zamasu having to steal Omni King's body, my counter question is how? How would he even be able to do that? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we actually had a Discord discussion on this, so it's not possible. It's not possible because when the Omni King did his Konosekai and destroyed everything, he erased Zamasu's essence. Like, the universal Zamasu was gone. Even though he was a fifth dimensional being and having to be, featured in the present and the future, it still didn't matter. Omni King erased everything that was of Zamasu. So do I think it's possible? If it happened, I would shit my pants. But do I think it actually happened? Absolutely not. So anyways, Mr. Freddy, thank you so much for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And once again, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to go on ahead and leave a like down below if you guys are new to the channel. Don't forget to go on ahead and subscribe for more awesome daily content on the channel. If you guys have any questions to ask me pertains to Dragon Ball or for fan mail questions, go on ahead and post them down below. I do also want to say that the regular fan mail Q&A videos are going to be posted onto my vlogging channel, which is Unreal Vlogs. The Dragon Ball Q&As will stay here, and the general fan mail Q&A questions and videos are going to be going onto Unreal Vlogs. I'm going to go on ahead and link my vlogging channel down below for you guys to go on ahead and check out. But once again, guys, have a fantastic day, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys. Peace.